What's happening, my beautiful people? My name is Mike Labelle, and today we're looking at overpowered squads in the Premier League. If you want more content like this, make sure to drop a thumbs up and let me know in the comments down below what players have you been using in the Premier League, what types of squads have you generated in FIFA 19. We can use the comments as more of a discussion group where we can go back and forth talking about individual players, guys that you think are going to make a difference, not just now, but even in the long run, whether it is in division rivals or you're going into the weekend league, that all-encompassing goodness, that super overpowered caliber. You're with me. Remember, I'm live streaming on Facebook and I'm also live streaming on Twitch. So if you want to see content before it drops, if you want to see the full games, you want to see the packs that are being opened, those links are down below in the description. I'm very happy to interact with you guys, engage with you, and I have been live streaming on both platforms. On screen, I present you with the squad, and we're in the 4-4-2. And the way that I've composed and put together this team, it's actually going to play a little more like a 4-2-4 because we have such attacking players, a lot of familiar faces, and I'm very proud with the defense. I just think it looks good on paper, feels good in the game. The majority of the players in this team should be affordable. I know the Premier League can get kind of crazy, even if they are 81s or 82s. And when I'm thinking overpowered, I typically am thinking cheaper and usually under an 83 in terms of rating, because once you get to an 83, 84 and so forth and so on, even if they perform amazing, it's hard to say that they're overpowered. Before we get into the pros and cons, let's talk about a few players that you may recognize. We've got Luke Shaw on the defensive end, Bellerin, Nathan, Rudiger. Like I said, I like that back four. In the midfield, we've got pace on pace on pace. You got Lucas, you got Felipe Anderson, and then up top, you've got Wilson, you got Zaha. You just feel like there's going to be goals in the air. Let's discuss the pros and the cons. We've got that gameplay on display, and in terms of a marquee performer or a guy that I want to focus on a little bit more, it's going to be Zaha. He does have those skill moves. He just plays better than an 82. He's going to be a difference maker early in the game, midway through, and if he's able to get some special cards, maybe some informs, even towards the end of the title, he could be influential. Maybe as a super sub at that point, because we know how everyone's building out the icons and you want the Cristiano Ronaldos and basically the highest rated players, which makes complete sense. So what's good? And it starts with the pace. When you're looking at this attack, you're not going to have any issues being dynamic. You've got skill moves, you got a lot of speed. I know that FIFA 19 isn't a FIFA installment that's only about pace, which has been kind of rare actually. This is not common to experience a title that is a little bit slower. Players do get caught up, and you want to have that mix of having some strength, some body control, that balance to go with, of course, being dynamic and being explosive and getting in behind. It's a little bit different this year, just a little bit. With that being said, you still want to put some fear into your opponent's defenders. And if you're too slow, you got that Giroud. They're welcoming you to challenge their back line, and they're going to be extremely aggressive if they don't think you have any pace on the wings or even down the middle of the pitch. Your opponent's going to think to himself, I'm willing to take that chance. Let's bring some more pressure. Let's double team him. Let's go for those slide tackles. This team is built to play aggressive. You want to disrupt the tempo. This squad offers you that because of all the pace. In most cases, it's an advantage if you can speed up your opponent, especially if you have the better team. It's just like in past FIFA installments. If you've got a squad full of icons and you're playing passively, you're not doing it right. That's not the way to benefit from having these individual matchup advantages. Last pro that I'm going to talk about is the defense. I just believe in this back line, and I really trust Rudiger and Nathan as the center backs. I feel that the fullback position is so interchangeable. If you don't like Luke Shaw, you could throw somebody else there. If you've got a little bigger budget, go get Mendy. On the right side with Bellerin, there's at least 6, 7 options in the Premier League. Whether you want to go for a Kyle Walker, an Aurier, a Klein, we could just keep naming players. And it's going to come down to your budget and who do you feel most comfortable using. Plain and simple. Now, when we're looking at the cons, this team's not very tall. They're not that physical, and they could become a liability if you're going up against somebody who knows how to cross or in set piece circumstances, both offensively and defensively. Team's not that tall, not crazy athletes in terms of being able to climb and win those headers. So if you're trying to whip in crosses on the offensive end, it might not work for you unless you're just wide open. And the same can be said on the defensive end, unless it's one of your center backs. Everybody else, matchup-wise, probably not the ideal candidate to be challenging in the air. And we've seen that corner kicks are actually too effective. In my opinion, we might need a patch. And if you have a team that's full of guys that are 5'10" or shorter, you better be avoiding those corner kicks. Do not concede them. I also struggled to keep it simple with this team, and I don't know if that's a mic problem or if that's the squad, but I always wanted the extra touch, the extra skill move. I wanted to burst by somebody. I wanted that moment of flair. And as I'm describing it now, it sounds like a me problem, not a team problem, but it's something that I noticed when I was playing with this squad. And I do want to reiterate, if you use this team in a 4-4-2, the same as me, it does feel more like a 4-2-4. What's the verdict with the squad? I think this is a good pickup if you can keep the price low. And I do realize, because we're so early in FIFA, prices are going to jump around as people make videos, and there's just hype that's kind of growing. And if you need to interchange some players, I understand. I am not mad at you. I'm just throwing that out there as a disclaimer. Remember, if you want more squad builders, drop a thumbs up, and let's talk about different teams, different players, and different squads in general in the comments down below. Turn on your notifications, subscribe if you're brand new. I'm happy to have you here. We are back into action in full effect, and I have a lot more content coming for you ASAP.